This little card can make the big difference whether a Briggs & Stratton engine lasts for years or minutes. Presented by Briggs & Stratton to help you keep more power mowers moving out of the store, not back in. But let George tell it. He was there. George, you look puzzled.
Well, who wouldn't be? I sell these two customers the same kind of mower, same Briggs & Stratton cool-bore easy-spin engine, and one guy, well, he's happy as an ant at a family picnic. Thinks his mower's the greatest thing around the house. Except for his wife, maybe. While this other guy, he can't make his run at all. He's sore at it. Brings it back. He's really had it with power mowers. I wonder.
You're remembering, aren't you, George? That unhappy customer. You were pretty busy the day you sold him a mower. You figured the sale was made. He said it looked easy enough to operate the engine, so off he went, and back the mower came. But the other one, well, you followed up the sale with instructions. You emphasized the maintenance points on your Briggs & Stratton start, stop, and store card. You made sure he knew how to operate and care for that engine. You made the sale stick.
Sure, I remember. First, I told him, here's the operating manual that comes with your Briggs & Stratton engine. Read it before starting your engine. Refer to it often for service tips. But let's brief it down visually here so you'll know how to get top engine performance right from the start, and for years. It's astonishing how many a new owner starts his engine the first time without a drop of oil in the crankcase and wrecks it fast, sometimes even in minutes. So that's the absolutely first step to remove this oil filler plug with a screwdriver or wrench. Then you fill with oil to the top level of the filler opening, and only with oil, but the right oil. Use only high-quality detergent oil labeled MS. And because normal grass-cutting weather somehow seems to be above 32 degrees, use a high-quality SAE 30 MS oil.
But, George, suppose that Briggs & Stratton engine is on a snowblower.
Same operating and maintenance story, except for the oil. Use a high-quality SAE 10W MS oil. But whatever the specification of the oil, winter or summer, be sure the oil filler plug is put back snugly. No gaskets needed. It's a nylon plug, self-sealing. Around here, incidentally, is the housing for the patented oil foam no-spill sealed air cleaner, where millions of microfine cells trap dirt to prevent premature engine wear. It's pre-oiled at the factory. Needs no attention till you change the crankcase oil. So you're almost ready to start. Off comes the gasoline tank cap, and in goes a good grade of clean, fresh gasoline.
A special gasoline, George?
No, just regular gasoline. But be sure it hasn't been standing around for months, forming gum to clog up the fuel system. Better buy it in small quantities in a clean container. And never mix in any oil. So gas in the tank, oil in the crankcase, let's get ready to go. This engine has a Pulsa-Jet fuel system. And to choke it, you pull the choke knob out as far as possible. With a flow-jet fuel system, the choke lever just below the air cleaner is turned clockwise till it stops.
Maybe I'd want a choke-o-matic control, George.
Then there will be a lever on the mower handle. You'd move it to full choke or start position to control the carburetor remotely. But full information and service tips are in the special choke-o-matic instructions. And now to actually start this easy spin engine. Don't gird yourself for battle. The big effort is out of style. Just take hold and...
She made that look awfully easy, George.
Oh, she didn't. The engine did. Easy spin really means easy spin in seconds. Cut starting effort 50%.
And how do you stop it, George?
Oh, it's easy to stop, too. Just snap this switch against the spark plug where it shorts out the ignition system to stop the engine. Just before starting it, snap it back to run position. With the remote choke-o-matic control, simply move this lever on the mower handle to stop position. And speaking of the spark plug, always remove it for safety when you work on the engine or mower. Clean under the deck, handle the blades or coupling, because you will, of course, want to keep the equipment in perfect mowing shape with proper periodic maintenance. For example, your Briggs & Stratton cool bore engine runs cooler not only because it's a special high silicon copper aluminum alloy, but because under this screen, a powerful fan blasts air all around the engine to cool away operating heat. Naturally, the screen and cylinder fins can eventually clog up and cut the air cooling efficiency.
And how do we get in there to clean them, George?
Oh, it's simple. Just remove these 3 small bolts, lift off the blower housing, and everything's open for the quick cleaning that keeps your engine cool. And to be sure it keeps running, you'll check the crankcase oil level every time you're ready to mow the grass, or blow the snow for that matter. If your engine's equipped with this Briggs & Stratton exclusive, the oil minder, just press the bellows to check the oil before each engine start. Release it, and a sudden tube full of oil says the crankcase level is go. Not a full tube? A danger sign to add oil now. No oil minder on your engine? Then just look in and see. But always, when the crankcase needs filling, be sure to clean around the filler cap. You don't want any dirt sneaking into the crankcase to foul up your engine.
And how many miles between oil changes, George?
Well, we're not talking about cars, my friend. Oil changes for this engine are measured by mowing operation hours. For a new engine, after the first 5 hours, and while still warm. Every 25 operating hours after that. Or even more often than that, under extremely dirty or dusty conditions. It's simple enough. You can empty the crankcase either by tilting the engine and draining it through the oil filler opening, or through the oil drain. Be sure to replace the drain plug, wipe off all the dirt, then refill to the top level of the filler opening with the right oil, and replace the filler cap also. You can complete that oil change without removing the oil foam no-spill air cleaner. But it makes good maintenance sense to renew the cleaner's effectiveness every time you change oil. You can unscrew the knurl-headed fastener with a coin to remove the self-sealing filter element made of porous, flexible polyurethane foam. This permanent filtering element can easily be washed in detergent, soapy water, or kerosene. After washing, squeeze it dry, re-oil it with 3 tablespoons of engine oil, and squeeze it again to spread oil through the foam.
Isn't that a lot to remember about an engine on a lazy summer day, George?
Not really. And there are always the operating instructions, which should be reviewed before that new engine is ever put to work, and kept handy for quick reference. Remember this, a lot of factory care went into making this a great engine, and a little home care regularly will keep it that way.
And when the summer days are over,
store your engine clean and dry for the winter. Best way to drain the fuel tank, run the engine until it stops. To prevent rust, take out the spark plug. Drop a little oil into the opening. Rotate the engine manually a few times, then replace the plug. Better still, let your authorized Briggs & Stratton serviceman check your engine completely during the off-season. Perhaps store it all winter for you if he has the facilities. With 12,000 of those trained engine experts across the country, there's always one near you.
I'm a stranger in town myself.
Then you can find that nearby authorized Briggs & Stratton service outlet in the telephone book Yellow Pages under Engines, Gasoline.
Just one more thing, George. Does your Briggs & Stratton engine carry a good warranty?
Sure does. A full year's warranty against any defects in materials and workmanship.
But not against defects in caring for the engine, eh, George?
Right. The owner has his own responsibility to check the equipment regularly, to follow the maintenance schedule I've outlined, operate engine and mower properly, avoid rocks, curbs, pipes, obstacles that can bend crankshafts on rotary mowers. Yes, I remember how I went over everything with that customer. When he went away, he knew how to really take care of that engine, and I knew he wouldn't be coming back with complaints that can cut profits, even cancel them out. The Briggs & Stratton Start, Stop, and Store story on this card is sort of my own warranty on the sale.
And that's the way George sells all the time these days, because he knows that almost all customer dissatisfaction can be avoided when customers know and follow proper maintenance. He knows that he's the important link between manufacturer and customer, the salesman who, when he takes time to really complete the sale, is in effect going right along to help keep the equipment running at its best, keep the customer sold.